How's it going, everyone? I've got two more mods to work on today for the Mustang. No, it's unfortunately not going to be these, although you'll be seeing those being tyres mounted to those and then fitted on the car very soon. And no, unfortunately it's not going to be these either, although you can expect to see a video of me installing them pretty soon. Today's jobs are going to be a complete bumper off job for two more subtle tiny little mods. I've got the US spec lower grille to install, which is in that box just there, and then also a pair of these, which are switchback indicator DRLs. So rather than having the tiny little rubbish little bulb that illuminates when you've got the either the side lights or the headlights on, it's going to illuminate the whole indicator bar in a nice bright white LED strip, and then obviously when you turn the indicator on, it's going to switch over to amber for the flashing, for the indicator flasher, and then back to the DRL. So it just tidies up the front end a bit, makes it look a bit more upmarket than that tiny little rubbish little DRL square that we get. So I got those there originally from HD Customs. They were via Steve Mander from the Mustang Club, so thank you very much. He's kindly supplied me this treasure map as well to install them. I've got my shadowing way. There we go. So hopefully I'll be able to follow that fairly easily. It just means some cutting and soldering and sticking things together. So to get to obviously to get the grill off, that's a bumper off job, and I thought while I'm doing it, I might as well think of other things that I might as well do while the bumper's off. So at least that'll make the switchback job a little bit easier. So yeah, let's get started. Right, so after unscrewing and unpopping about 500 fasteners that hold on the various bits of plastic trim above and below the bumper, it was finally free to begin work on the first part of today's job, which is replacing that ugly lower grille that looks like it's straight from a Daewoo Matiz. I have no idea why the export models have this awful thing instead of the authentic US spec grille that matches the design of the upper grille with the honeycomb mesh and the two fangs, but here's a comparison of the two so you can see what I mean. At least the lower grille is tucked away at the bottom of the bumper where it's usually shaded, so it's not immediately noticeable, but once you've seen it, you can't help but notice it every time you look at the car. One thing I didn't show at the start was me struggling to actually get the wheels off the car in the first place. This is the first time I've needed to remove them during the last 6 weeks or so of ownership, but they decided to weld themselves into place. No amount of Jean-Claude Van Damme high kicks would shift them, so I ended up having to use the old drive the car up and down the street with loose lug nuts trick to effectively make the wheels fall off themselves. That combined with the immovable grille clips meant I ran out of time, so the car had to sleep on jack stands before I could continue with the switchback LEDs the next day. After some snipping and splicing, these were all wired into place, then I gave them a quick test before soldering them up. The only problem was I'd gone and spliced into the existing DRL wire too close to the bulb, so when I refitted the bumper and tried to plug everything back in, I didn't have enough slack in the wires. So it all had to come off again to cut off my freshly soldered connection to do it all over again further up the wire. Thankfully it all worked the second time, so those bazillion fasteners were zipped back into place to hold the bumper under tray and fascias back on. So in order to use these unofficial DRLs, the car needs to have the side lights enabled, which is the first setting on the lights dial. The actual DRLs are still the dim bulbs in the fog lights, which are enabled if you don't have any lights on at all. These fancy new switchbacks are also active along with the main headlights too, so as long as I drive around with one of the two light settings active, they'll be visible. I really wish we had those tri-bar DRLs in the headlights, but it's yet another thing that was removed on the Euro spec models. There are some clever people out there who are offering the conversions though, so maybe I'll get them installed one day. The front end is looking a little nicer now with those bright new LEDs and the authentic grille. There are 2 more subtle mods, but the major stuff will be coming soon, so stay tuned to see what the car looks like with those new wheels, slammed on the iBack sport lines and customised with tints and stripes. But thank you very much for watching this video, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next one.